Hello and welcome to a study guide video for Chapter 7. I know that this material is kind of difficult, so this will be your video guide of how to work some of these problems on your study guide. So I'm going to go through and do one from each section, or two, depending on what I see. As you're looking at this is all of the material from Chapter 7 that you need to be able to demonstrate to me on your test. So for the first few questions, it says, state if the polygons are similar. Now, the kinds of answers I'm looking for are not just going to be simply yes or no. Why? Reason is I need to have some kind of work. The work's going to come in the form of a fraction or a proportion. So let me get rid of this and let me show you. What you're going to do is, in order for something to be similar, the sides must be proportional. Okay? Proportional is a symbol like that. And in order for a proportion to work, you're going to need to do cross products. Now, this is what it'll look like. I'm going to do number one here. I need to look at and set up a proportion. So I'm going to have numbers that go in these four places. And since I don't have any variables, I'm not going to be doing any solving. I just picked four numbers. Now, it's not a random picking. It is picking out, like I can start over here randomly, say I want to have 12. I come down here and put 12. And then I'm going to need another side. Well, the other side is going to be like, oh, let's say over here we're going to then take and choose 18. And then down here you're going to write 18. And then I need something that matches the 12 side up with something over in this shape. Okay? And what matches with 12 is 12 is located right here. So I need something on that same side, or corresponding, matching. It should be that. And it's going to go right there. Something that goes with this 18 is going to be in the same position. It's going to be that 24, and it goes down there. And you say, oh, that's well, fine and good, but what do I do? You cross multiply. When you cross multiply here and here, you're going to get 18 times 16 is going to give you 288. You're going to do 12 times 24, which gives you 288. And then this says, yep, that's true, a statement, 288 is equal to 288. It's telling me that the proportion here works, and so then these are similar, and so then I can now say yes, because I've checked it. That's what you're going to do for numbers 1 through 8 on this page. And switching over, page 2, number 9, something different. The polygons in each pair are similar. We already know that, so sides have got to be proportional. We want to find the scale factor. And we want to do it for the smaller figure to the larger, okay? And we're going to come over here, and we just need to write one fraction. Wow, I don't know what I was drawing there. One fraction, bottom and top number, and then we're going to reduce. And we only have really two sets of numbers to choose from, so I'm going to pick 20 and 25. 20 is going on top. 25 goes on the bottom, smaller to bigger. You reduce. What number can you divide by here and divide by there? Well, that's going to end up being that 5 is in each of these. So then 20 divided by 5, that's going to give me 4. 25 divided by 5 gives me 5, and that would be your scale factor. So the length of this side is, if you're doing it in smaller numbers, 4 of these is related to 5 of those. But they bumped it up a little bit. Okay? That's what you do there. Now, next section, polygons in each pair similar. Find the missing side length. I'm wanting to find the missing side length here. I'm just going to call that x. Tells us it's similar. I can write a proportion. I'm going to. I've said it before. Write your proportions where the numbers in your boxes, top and bottom, come from the same shape. I normally like my x to be on the top, so I'm going to say 14 over 16. Okay? because then I'm looking at, well, 14 and x go together. These are corresponding. X is going to be here, 40 is down there. Okay? And then what you're going to do from there is you have to cross multiply, and you're going to do some dividing, and that's going to give you your answer. Pardon me for a moment while I get my calculator here so I don't end up giving you a wrong number. Okay, so I'm first going to then say, well, 16 times x, that's 16x. It equals 14 times 40 is going to be 560. Divide both sides by 16. And my value for x is 35. Do that on the rest of them. Moving on, same way of 17 through 20 is what I just showed you. Number 21, solving when you have x. Same principle, it's just you have this an algebraic expression over just a plain old x. Same idea of proportions. 2x minus 8 from this shape on the left over 12 equals 8 over 6. Cross multiply, and we're going to do some solving here. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So cross multiply like that. 6 times 2x minus 8. And then also 12 times 8 is going to give me 96. Again, 12 times 8 gives me 96 on the right over here. 6 times the quantity is going to give me that. Okay? Now, I'm going to get rid of those lines. Most of us think, oh, we got to do distributive property and go boom, 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 down here this way. That's true. That's one option. But algebra teachers know that confusion can abound, so they're going to show you that. I'm going to show you a quicker way. It's going to make it a little easier. It just makes the numbers smaller. These two, this thing here and this thing there, is two things being multiplied. And so instead of going and multiplying them through, I could divide both sides by 6. That cancels here. My 2x minus 8 drops down. 96 divided by 6 is going to give me 16. I'll go ahead and add 8 to both sides. And that's going to give me 24. Divide both sides by 2, and then I get my x equals 12. There you go on that. All the rest of those are the same. Moving on, state if the triangles in each pair are similar. If so, state how you know they're similar. You're going to use either angle-angle similarity, side-angle-side similarity, or side-side-side similarity. And which one of those three depends on what's given. And you look at 29, you look at 30, you look at 32, you look at 31. They're all possibly going to be different or the same depending on what each triangle is telling you. Those right there. So you're studying that, you're looking at it. And I'm seeing this. I've got a side, an angle. A side, an angle, a side, angle, side. I can't do this. I can't do that. Those require items I don't have. Okay, so I'm going to then go and do this. Well, my angle here and here is congruent. It shows me in the mark. That mark there and this mark there. That's showing me those angles are congruent. So the side, angle, side, that part's already taken care of. You deal with the sides by checking if there's some proportions that, or it's proportional, and if it's got the same rate there. So let me get rid of some stuff. I should have just erased that, sorry. So I got the angles checked here and here. I don't know what I erased that for. Anyways, so what you're going to do is you need to take this triangle at the top here, and G is going to go with D, so it's going to rotate this way, and then that means that EG is like BD, so you're going to do EG over BD, put in your numbers, reduce, and that means what number gets divided, what number goes in the top and the bottom evenly. It's going to be 3, so you're going to get 2 over 9. Then you're going to do the same thing with EF over BC. Same results. That means these are proportional sides. And so then down here you would write triangle E F G by side angle side similarity. And the next two are going to be side angle side. Number 32 here, you're going to use side side side. And what you need to do is you need to just write out and check that these sides are giving you the same fraction, like I did up above there. Okay? Moving on, find the missing length. Same deal. Write a proportion, set it up, solve. So like 33, this part here is letting you orient your triangle so you know that this has got to rotate around, stand up. L is going to match up with D, so it'll look something like this. I say again, write it out, same shape. So 20 over 10 is equal to 30 over X. Cross multiply. Do some division. Voila, answer. Okay, moving on. Do the same thing on all those. Something like 37. You're comparing this triangle right there to the whole triangle, and the blue line on your screen where this 10 is and this 15 is letting you know that whole distance from B to C is 10 and from B to D is 15. So you want to know down here this little side X. So you're going to do something like X over 4, little triangle, is equal to X and 15 are related. So 15 goes over 10, cross multiply, divide. There you are. Moving on there. Going to the next page, solve for X. Same idea. Instead of marks, you're going to get an angle measurement. That just lets you know how to orient your triangle. So you're going to write a proportion that would look like this. And then you would take 6 is going to correspond to 6x minus 3. And then 8 is going to go with 20, just like that, like I showed you on the last one where you have an algebraic expression. You cross multiply and you're going to end up with something like this. You divide both sides by 8. You'll get 6x minus 3 and equals 15, and continue solving for that. Okay, I'm just speeding up because I don't want you to get bored. That's how you do all of those. Moving on, it's going to be the same way when you get to number 47. Small triangle to big triangle. 20 over 24 is equal to 25 over 3x, cross multiply, and so on and such. Where things change is number 49. This is where you're looking to see if I have any information on this altitude. If you do, you're going to set this up with this geometric mean problem. And that just is telling you that whenever I say something's the geometric mean, it's going to go on this diagonal right here, whether it's a letter or a number, and it is the average length between this part right here where it's 9 and from here to there, that piece. Well, I got to figure that out. If from here to here is all of it's 25 and the little parts of it's told me it's 9, this has got to be 16. 25 minus 9. Set that up, cross multiply. Now, this is where it gets interesting. X times x gives you x squared. Now, you can't divide by 2. You take the square root, and you're going to get x equals 12. Compare that to like number 50, where I don't know anything about this altitude. So what I did on 49, I'm not going to do the same thing here. This is still my geometric mean. It's going to go there and there. It's the geometric mean between this little part and the whole thing. Well, the whole thing's 25, but if the little part's 25 minus 16, that's where I get 9. Cross multiply, you're going to get that, square root x equals 15. Number 53 is one where you still have information on the inside, but it's not a variable, it's a number. That's your geometric mean between the two parts out here, the 64 and the x. Set it up, cross multiply, and divide here. Okay, do that same thing. Well, in number 55, this is the geometric mean between 36 and x. Okay, now the rest of these folks is just a repetition, amount of repetition on finding the value that's missing, finding the length that's missing. Like on this one, x, you're comparing the little triangle to the big triangle. So you can do things like this. So one thing I'm going to do here is that whole thing is 6. 2 plus 4 gives you 6. So I'm going to have something like x over 2 is equal to 12 over 6. Cross multiply and so on. You're just setting that up, comparing the triangles. Number one thing here is you don't want to try to use the part here. That's not a triangle. Okay? Solve for x, same idea. Small triangle to big triangle, 8 over 14. And then you might have to do a little fancy footwork. This whole thing here, that's 12. This whole thing here is 14 plus negative 5 plus 2x, because it's that part plus that part. And so you could add them together. 14 and negative 5 is going to give you 9. Cross multiply. And solve from there. Okay? All right. So that takes us into page number 7. Find the missing lengths. These guys are real simple. You see a bunch of lines. It's a side splitter theorem. This part, you're just doing left side over right. Left side equals right side, top over bottom. X over 35 is equal to 8 over 20. Cross multiply, divide, you got your answer. You want to like turn your head sideways a little for those that are bent. Do those, like I said, left side, top over bottom equals right side, top over bottom. And you're going to do the same thing for the solving for x ones. You might need to find something like that and set it up like so. And go to town and solve. And then the very last page, we're just doing stuff with an angle bisector, just another way to get, excuse me, our pieces. Might have to do a little fancy footwork like that. Left side, top over bottom, equals right side. Cross multiply and go into town solve. And coming on the last ones there, solving for x, you basically are doing the same thing here. You can just do 2x minus 3 over 6 is equal to 25 over 10, and you have it. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Leave comments below, and good luck on your test.